the module called Wi-Fi hacking over here. And what exactly the Wi-Fi hacking? We're gonna take our Kali Linux machine and our wireless network device. That would be my TP-Link Tenda. And over here you can see that I already have connected with my device. And the IF config is this Ethio local and WLAN 0. So we're gonna try to use our this one WLAN 0. So we're gonna try to penetrate and see. Basically जब आप अपने वाईफाई अडेप्टर को ऑन करते हो तो वो नॉर्मली प्रोमिसेस मोड पे एक्टिवेट होता है. प्रोमिसेस मोड में क्या होगा कि इसके रेडियस में जितने भी आपके वाईफाई डिवाइसेस होंगे, इसके रेडियस में जितने भी आपके वाईफाई डिवाइसेस होंगे वो सारे के सारे को ये कैप्चर करेगा. तो अगर आप यहाँ पे देखो ये सारे के सारे जितने मेरे आसपास के वाईफाईज हैं ये सारे के सारे यहाँ पे दिखा रहा है आपको. So before starting this one, let's talk about what exactly the wireless network concept over here. So अगर मैं वायरलेस डिवाइसेस की बात करूँ यहाँ पे, so वायरलेस डिवाइसेस का मेजरली आपका काम क्या है कि आपके पूरे नेटवर्क के वाईफाई एडेप्टर्स को सीक्वेंस पे रखना. So if we talk about the Wi-Fi network adapter, we can talk about the major part. So over here, the most important part is you can see wireless network are the most common and popular technology. Yes, because most of the devices over here we have is wireless adapters, wireless devices, and they could be used in various techniques. For example, most of the wireless devices can be worked in a different methodology and different things. Just like our Bluetooth. Bluetooth is also our wireless devices. Those devices which can be connected with any of the wireless devices or wireless things, it could be counted over there. So our major perspective over here, installation of the wired network has been replacing the wireless network because of the easy and mobility. Because most of the things you can see over here in the companies, they use wired environment with some of the Ethernet cables. So using wireless network is increased not mobility in the network, but increase the flexibility of the end user. So end user, we can simply use it in any of the different environment. So most of the people over here, they simply change the environment variables. Another advantage of the wired technology is in contact those remote areas where wired technology implementation is difficult. So सबसे ज़्यादा अगर आप यहाँ पे देखोगे आपके वायरलेस डिवाइसेस में सबसे ज़्यादा एडवांटेजेस ये है कि आप उससे कहीं से भी कनेक्टिविटी कर सकते हो. And you can simply do lots of further things. For example, the wireless device networks has been concept in 3 different methodologies. It's all about radio frequencies. The wireless network is a type of computer network that is capable of transmitting and receiving data through a wireless medium such as your radio waves. The major advantage of this network is to reduce the cost of wires, devices, and installation complexity of wired network. Usually, wireless communication relies on radio communications. Different frequency ranges are used to different types of wireless technologies depending on the requirement. The most common example of wireless networks is cell phones. You can see satellite communication, microwave communication, etc. You can see over here, wireless devices are categories in some of the parts like your GSM, which stands for Global System of Mobile Communication. This is also your standard of wireless devices. And this is based on your European company standard. And it's basically a 2nd generation protocol of digital cellular network. And the most important thing, they are divided into 2G and 3G also, which is your UTMS standard, and your 4G Lite. I think most of our cell phones, you will see Volt and Lite over there. Those are basically your communication technology, wireless communication technology, which is used by the towers. Yes, the most important thing, the towers are also counts in your wireless technology. Access points are your Wi-Fi's name, your Wi-Fi's devices. Access point or wireless access point WAP is a hardware device that allows wireless connectivity to the end devices. Some are called SSID. SSID means set service ID identifier, the name of the access point. BSSID. BSSID are the MAC address of the devices. See over here. When you are connected with any of your hard drive or the device you have, you will have a MAC address, and this access point has a MAC address over here. Cross verification. If I do IF config, you can see Ethernet has a different MAC address, and my WLAN has a different MAC address. So those are dependent over there. So you can do this one, access point. So our major compatibility is simply to check all the possibilities one by one. See this one. BSSID as the MAC address of the thing. ISM band. ISM band are basically used on your radio frequency. जो आपके सबसे ज़्यादा यूज होते हैं ये देखो unlicensed band in radio frequency band dedicated for the industrial, scientific and medical purpose. The 2.4 gigahertz frequency band is dedicated to ISM, microwave ovens, see, cordless phones, medicals, your military radars, your industrial heaters, and some of the parts. Just like, see over here, they have given OFDM. OFDM is also your frequency type, orthological frequency division multiplexing. And this is also a digital method which is used in your television, digital televisions, your audio broadcasting, your DSL internet, and your 4G communication. Same like your FSSH, frequency hopping spread system, spectrum, which are also basically your radio signals by switching or hopping to the carrier of different frequency. And the most important thing is your types of wireless networks, which is your wireless PAN, your WLAN, and your WAN and your WWAN. Wired wireless personal area network, local area network, metropolitan area network, and wide area network. Just your wireless devices. Think about all the devices which is wireless. That's why most of the if you go further for your higher studies, you will learn about your Wi-Fi hacking with the car RFID attack. So over here, you can simply imagine how an access point can give us a proper network. If we have an internet, we have a router. Through the router, we have access point, which we can connect with our cell phones, your wireless printer, your wireless users, your extensions, and your wireless, what other users can do. Extension point means you can extend your frequency. So over here, the most important thing, how a simple extension is a wired network can we perform over there. So what we're gonna do over here, we're gonna try to encrypt, or we're gonna try to brute force, or we're gonna try Wi-Fi hacking part. There are lots of things, multiple access point. You can simply use your router to perform multiple access point. You can simply use it wireless device 1, wireless device 2 for the different domain or the origins, you can say. 3G, 4G hotspots, which is also important over here. 3G, 4G users, which has the dongle, but these things can be connected with the tower network. A tower network can also be used for connectivity part. And there are many further things can be happen over there one by one. And the most important thing, each and every standard has a frequency level. Whenever you're buying a Wi-Fi adapter, see the standards, which standard there belongs to. The 802.11, it's a community of your IEEE. If you're buying iPhone, if you're buying 11A, which has the frequency level of 5 gigahertz, which is basically your OFDM, and this is for your television and 4G communication, which has a highest speed of 54 Mbps. just like your 11B. And right now, my Wi-Fi adapter is 11B. See this one. You can simply understand with the frequency level, which is 2.4 gigahertz only. Which is your DSS, which can also give you only for 11 Mbps speed. That's it. Max to max. Same your 11G, which can works for 2G also 2G. They can works for OFDM also and DSS also with the 54 Mbps speed. 11N, which supports 2G and 5G also. See, 54 Mbps. Your WiMAX, you can see 80 to 11, 16. This one is basically your highest category, which can be used for 10 to 66 gigahertz. I think this one is the most capable part, and that can be used for your 70 to 1000 Mbps speed. And the Bluetooth that we used over here in our cell phone devices can be connected with 2.4 gigahertz speeds, and they can transfer the memory into 1 to 3 Mbps per second. So this categories is basically defined on your simple categorize things which can be used in the further stages. Same as your SSID. So SSID is basically your name of your service identifier, which is your name of the access point, as I mentioned you before, and it's the most of the things we can say this is your broadcasting, so it can broadcast all over the network. So whoever has the access point, they can communicate with that Wi-Fi. Same like your Wi-Fi technology. Wi-Fi technologies are basically depends on your follow the technology of your 802.11 standards. Many devices such as personal computers and gaming consoles, mobile phones, tablets, modems are Wi-Fi compatible, and these Wi-Fi compatible devices are connected with the internet through the wireless access point. See, so they basically focus on the standard of 811, such as your. It depends on is it A, B, G, or N. Depends on the VLAN, your wireless local area network. And the most important thing, when you are simply using your Wi-Fi adapter, think about your authentication modes. Authentication modes when you simply make a connectivity with that device. So it will be your open authentication or your shared authentication. So let's try to communicate, or let's try to simply have a attacking phase. So I have my own notes over here. Wi-Fi hacking. So you can see what is Wi-Fi hacking and how does it works. So simply this Wi-Fi hacking just works on the transmitter. Once a transmitter receives data from the internet, it's convert the data into radio signals that can be received by read by Wi-Fi enabled devices, and that is our adapters, you can say. And the most important thing, they simply release a consumer act, which was a community called 811. That is your IEEE, which was introduced on the 1997 over there. And the frequency levels, you can see over here 11B and 11A, 2.4 gigahertz. Wi-Fi uses electromagnetic waves to communicate data that can be run into two frequencies, 2.4 gigahertz and your 5 gigahertz processors. For many years, 2.4 gigahertz was the first popular choice of Wi-Fi users, and it worked with the most mainstream devices and less expensive things. See this one. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna try the attacking phase, but the most important thing is to learn about the thing. So let's try the practical thing first of all. So how to perform a Wi-Fi hacking? First of all, we have to simply use one by one all the steps which are written over here on the screen. So we're gonna try, and we're gonna capture the signals. We're gonna perform a simple MITM attack. A simple MITM attack that can be used for capturing the Wi-Fi signals. So first thing first, I have given step by steps And we're gonna use some basic terminologies also. So first thing first, you can see we're gonna use check the wireless device network editor. We can use IW config. And second step is activate the monitor mode of the wireless card. We're gonna use airmon ng. Activate the capturing mode of the Wi-Fi. We can use airdump ng. And we can use start capturing the target signals and make folder keys. So the store the keys is basically your handshake. It's basically depends on your handshake how a handshake can be captured between the two nodes. So let's try with this one. So first thing first, you can use IW config or you can use IF config to check your wireless device. So my wireless device is WLAN 0. So I'm gonna use Airmon ng. Airmon is basically used for activating your monitoring mode. So let's do man before this one. So man means manual. So you can see over here, Airmon ng. This is a script can be used to enable monitor mode on your wireless network interface, and it can be used to go back to monitor mode to manage mode. Entering the Airmon ng command without the parameter will show you the interface status. It is also you list kill programs and can be interfere with the wireless cards operations. So we're gonna try this one over here. So let's do airmon ng start. We're gonna do the start thing, and over here, the first important thing when you are doing a Wi-Fi injection attack, simply check if your device is compatible with the injection part or not. Injection. So we're gonna use over here WLAN 0, which is your Wi-Fi. Hit enter. And over here, the first thing you can see, the process ID that is using is 573 network manager, DSCP client, WPS supplement, and DSCP client. And you can see one thing, the monitor mode has been enabled, and the monitor mode is WLAN 0 mon now. The mon before the WLAN is called monitor mode. You can cross verify with the IF config. See, now you can see the mode has been changed to manage mode to monitor mode. It means promises mode. So when you activate your network device to promises mode, it can be capture all the network devices names which is surrounding over there. So we can try to use those things. So let's try the command call aerodump ng. So before aerodump ng, let's do man, which is your manual. Okay, something had okay, dump, aerodump. So you can see over here, aerodump ng is used to packet capturing of raw standards of your 11 frameworks for the intent of using them for aircrack ng. Aircrack ng is basically used for dictionary attack. If you have a GPS or a receiver connected to the computer, aerodump ng is capable for logging the coordinations of the found access point. So let me show you one thing. So aerodump ng WLAN 0 mon, the network device that we're going to use over here for capturing all the network devices. So when you hit enter, you will see all the number of devices are on your screen that can be used over here for the further stages. And you will see basis ID. Basis ID stands for MAC address. Power is the range of the radius. Beacons means the packet which is flowing in the backend. Data. And the most important thing, the channel numbers. These channel numbers are important over here. Why? Because each and every channel has a speed. Depends on the speed of time. The channel numbers that can be used over here are significant and can be used in a different part. You will see encryption standard. Encryption, which is given over here, is basically your protecting your data, and they are basically your WPA2, WPA, WPA, WEP. So what exactly these encryption standard over here? WPA2, WPA, and some of the network devices are hidden. See, if you see length is equal to 0, that means the the ESS ID, the name of the network device has been hidden by the client to protect their Wi-Fi network. So sometimes when you want to communicate with that specific network, you have to enter the Wi-Fi name and the password over there, and that can be used over here in the further stages. Or let's have a look on the Wi-Fi adapters. First of all, the encryption standard. So before the encryptions, the basic terminologies we're going to talk about. There was a time that for protecting the Wi-Fi signals or protecting the network, they use some pair of keys. Pair of keys basically used for entering the username and password to get access. So security technology, you can see from the perspective of the hacker, wireless security technologies are among the most pertinent features. Multiple security technologies have been deployed in your Wi-Fi to make an inherently insecure technology. Our attack approach will depends upon which of these security technologies is being deployed. Deployed means established or implemented, you can say. So the most of the Wi-Fi signals are depend on your encryption standard, and first encryption standard is your WEP. WEP stand for wired equivalent privacy. And wired equivalent privacy is basically used in your wired environment. Was the first Wi-Fi wireless security scheme employed. As its name implies, it is designed to provide security to the end user. End user means we, which are using the network. And you can see over here that most of the end users are privacy enjoyed in a wired environment. Wired environment means there are lots of wired on the desk. For a number of reasons, WEP is extremely easy to crack because of the flow implementation of RC4 encryption algorithm. RC4 encryption algorithm, which use set of rules over there. It is not implemented to be able to crack WEP in less than 5 minutes, because nowadays, if you see, WEP can be cracked in just 5 minutes, and it's the most easiest way. Most of the people nowadays, they doesn't use this one. This is because WEP uses a very small 24 bits of initial vector, 24 bits of characters, you can see, data stream, and that can be used to discover the password using statistic techniques. And this WEP basically used on your household and small businesses. Same just like a WPA. WPA was introduced by the revealed weakness of WEP. It is often referred as a WPA2 standard between WPA2, and they basically use your TKIP, which is your temporary key integrity protocol, which can ask you one-time password to get access. It still uses WEP for encryption, but it makes the statistical attack to be cracked WEP more difficult and time-consuming. Same just like we use two standards now. We use PSK and AES. Then they introduced WPA2. WPA2 PSK, pre-shared keys. Pre-shared key means whenever you want to enter to that simple Wi-Fi network device, you have to enter the password for getting authentication for the home of the small business user. As the name implies, it is a WPA2 implementation that users can pre-shared keys. It is security standard that used most of the household today, and although the far more secure, it is vulnerable to various attacks. It's still vulnerable. A feature that was added in 2007, which is called Wi-Fi Protected Setup, or WPS. So there is a button on your, there would be a button in your keyboard, router, WPS button. If you simply allow It can also be used to bypass the PSK teams. It will not ask you the password. You just have to click on that and you have to communicate. Then we have AES, which is your advanced encryption standard. It is advanced encryption standard for encrypt the data that is most secure and is often coupled with the Radius server and dedicated to authentication. Although it can be possible in insufficient more difficult. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna try this attack over here. Let's try this one. So I was talking about the authentication, which authentication they are using, and most you can see most of them are using PSK, P shared keys. And we are not going to attack any of the network devices. I'm going to attack only on my local network. That would be my this. I'm going to attack only on this one, which is my internal Wi-Fi network. So let's perform a MITM attack, a sniffing attack. So over here, I'm going to use aerodump -ng, and you can see my notes over here, which I mentioned. So activate the capturing mode in Wi-Fi. Then you can use start capturing the target signals and make a folder to store the keys handshake. The handshake is the important part. The handshake which contains the key phrases or the password phrases that can be used over here for attacking phase. So you can see aerodump -ng, -c, the channel name, -write. -write function is basically used to store the password. And -BSSID is the MAC address. You can see I simply wrote it down. -c represent as a channel number, and there are 14 channel numbers, and every Wi-Fi has a unique channel number, so we have to put the exact one. -BSSID. BSSID is the MAC address of the Wi-Fi device. -write function is used to make a file on the target. So we can try many further things. So let's try to attack over here. Let's try attacking. So my first thing that I'm going to do over here is to try to attack on the server, and we're going to use it over here for sniffing mode. I can see the channel number. The channel number that they are using is for channel number 4. Channel 4. So I'm going to use -write. I'm going to use it over here on the root desktop, and I'm going to name this one ma. And -BSSID. BSSID is the MAC address of the device, so we're going to copy the MAC address, and that would be this one. And WLAN 0 mon, my wireless network card. So what I'm basically doing, I want to simply capture the signals from the channel 4 and write those on my local folder, which is over here in the desktop ma, and the BSSID, the MAC address of the device, and the wireless network card. So you can see over here. Now we are performing a sniffing mode attack. Sniffing mode attack means we're going to capture the frames of the network devices. So over here you can see the MAC address, and this station belongs to a device has been connected with the device. So either we can wait for capture the handshake, or we can do one thing. We can perform a DOS attack on that network. The major reason to perform the DOS attack on the network is basically we're gonna kick out the legitimate clients from that specific network, and we're gonna try to use DOS attack to perform or to get the access of the network devices. बेसिकली क्या करना है आपको कि मान लो कि अगर कोई नया डिवाइस कनेक्टेड होता है तो वी कैन कैप्चर ही कैन एंटर द पासवर्ड फ्रेजेस, ही कैन एंटर द पासवर्ड. सो और अगर कोई नया डिवाइस फिर से कनेक्ट होता है, रिकनेक्ट होता है, तो फिर भी हम उसे कैप्चर कर सकते हैं. बट यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, हमें यहाँ पे वेट करना पड़ेगा. So for this one, what I'm going to perform, I'm going to do a simple DOS attack. Why? Because we're going to kick out the legitimate user, and then we're going to use it for this same thing. So in the fifth step, we're going to do, in this process, we're going to send some deauthentication packet to the victim, and so we can capture the handshake shared with the two clients. -FN deauth packet will jam the Wi-Fi signals, and over you can say kick out the legitimate users from the network. Or we can see root Lucifer. This was the normal thing. It was we're gonna use airborne ng. So what exactly the airborne ng is used for? Let's see. Air reply ng. Air reply ng. So air reply is used to inject or replay frames. It will tremendous, or you can say continuously sending the frames according to our own need. So this primary function is to generate traffic to the later to use in aircrack ng for cracking the WEP and WPA PSK keys. So there are different attacks which can be caused the authentication for the purpose of capturing WPA handshake data, fake authentication, and interactive packets replay. So we're gonna try these things over here. Let's try air replay, and I'm gonna use -FN deauth. I'm gonna send some deauthentication packet on the basis ID, and I'm gonna use WLAN 0 mon. So when I'm using this command, so whoever is connected with that specific Wi-Fi device, it's gonna send some deauthentication packet. Deauthentication packet means it will kick out the legitimate user. Sorry, it was -A. -A stands for your basis ID. So if you see over here, they are sending some deauthentication packet, and one of my client has been disconnected, and we can see we have captured the WPA handshake. You can capture the WPA handshake easily. You can see the deauthentication packet will be sent until it reaches the 1000 packet. So you can use 100 or 50 packets. It's not necessary that you have to send 1000 packets over there, but the legitimate user should be kicked out. And over here, you can see when you simply capture the Wi-Fi signals, you will see something like this over here on the screen. And the most interesting thing, this this handshake will be captured in a file called ma, as we have created, and that file can be in the form of your cap file, .cap file. .cap file can be read in your Wireshark also. So if you see over here, we can use Wireshark. We're gonna use Wireshark over here to simply check the packet. So I'm gonna open a packet. It could be on the desktop, and we can see ma.cap file which has created over there. And these are some of the files which can be used over there. File like times, some source and the destinations, some protocols, some length of the packets. Length of the packets are depends, and some information which contains some data over there. Which can be used in here in the further stages. See, you will see all the packet which I created over here. You can see some deauthentication packet also. So the deauthentication packet was broadcasted, and the packet which contains over here, it was 2 byte of packet, and it was broadcasting. The major important thing, it was sending. Let's see. तो बेसिकली मैं जो ये डीऑथेंटिकेशन पैकेट में भेज रहा था वो था आपका फिन पैकेट. आई थिंक फिन पैकेट ही था. फ्लैग सेट नहीं था. But over here, the most important thing, the password is over here. आपका पासवर्ड यहीं पे कहीं है, जो कि encrypted form में है. Or most of the things they use EOPL. So when you have captured the handshake, on your server, the last thing that we can do is to perform aircrack ng, a simple dictionary attack. But simple, think about a dictionary attack. A dictionary attack if you want to complete a proper Wi-Fi hacking or dictionary attack, the word should be on your that dictionary, because the word will be changed into an algorithm sets. Algorithm sets that can be used over there for further stages. See over here, we're gonna use aircrack ng. It can recover the WP keys once enough encrypted packet has been captured by the RODMC. That we already have done this one. We already have captured lots of packets. And this part of aircrack ng suits determines the WP using two fundamental methods. The first method is via the PTW approach, which is your Peskin, Twiz, and Venom. The main advantages of the PTW approach is to very few data packets are required to crack the WP. And the second method is FMS, incorporate various statistical attack discover. So basically हम लोग ये ज़्यादा यूज़ नहीं करने वाले, हम लोग यहाँ पे यूज़ करेंगे -A और -2. ठीक है, -A यूज़ करेंगे मोड ऑफ स्पोर्स अटैक. तो हमारा WP नहीं है, हमारा WP8 PSK है, तो हम लोग A2 यूज़ करेंगे. और यहाँ पे -B यूज़ करूँगा BSSID के लिए. और एक और चीज़ जो मुझे चाहिए यहाँ पे वो है हमारा वर्ड लिस्ट. तो मैं यहाँ पे जो वर्ड लिस्ट यूज़ करूँगा, सो बाय डिफॉल्ट ही हमारे पास एक डिफॉल्ट वर्ड लिस्ट है यहाँ पे हमारे खुद के काली लिनक्स में. दैट वुड बी ऑन अवर यूजर शेयर. You can type word list over here, and the word list is over here. See the rocky.txt file. So let's try to copy this one, and I'm going to use it over here. So this is a gz file. So gz file देखते हैं. gzip file है ये normal, इसको extract करेंगे. ठीक है. So it will be used by gunzip rocky.txt, and it's done. But the one wc word count and the length, कितने words है इसके अंदर पहले वो देखो. इसके अंदर कुछ words हैं 1, 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 1 crore, 43 lakhs, 44,392. These are the number of words which is on the rocky.txt file. और अगर आप इसको properties में देखो तो ये कुछ ज़्यादा बड़ी फाइल नहीं है. 140 MB की फाइल है. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna add so let's try this attack. So सबसे पहले aircrack ng -A2 जो कि हमारा WPA PSK टूल के लिए अटैक होगा. -B हमारा BSSID. सॉरी, aircrack ng -A2 -B हमारा BSSID. और हमारा जो BSSID वो था वो क्या था हमारा, ये वाला था. And we're gonna use -W. So the first thing that we come over here, first आपका आएगा, आपका वर्ड लिस्ट आएगी. सबसे पहले आपकी वर्ड लिस्ट आएगी, फिर आपका कैप फाइल आएगा जो आप क्रिएट करा आपने. So over here एक और चीज है, in aircrack ng we have to provide a dictionary so it can be matches the hashes with some random words in case we can identify the password. So let's try over here. So सबसे पहले जो वर्ड लिस्ट मैंने यहाँ पे क्रिएट करी है वो मैं ये वाला डालूंगा. उसके बाद रूट डेस्कटॉप, उसके बाद जो मैंने फाइल क्रिएट किया है डॉट कैप फाइल, हाँ डॉट कैप फाइल जो मैंने अपने हैशेस को स्टोर किया था यहाँ पे, and hit enter. So you will see something like this one because it will convert all the words. See, ये हर एक वर्ड को कन्वर्ट करेगा इस सिंपल मेथड में और इसको इस मैच के इसके साथ मैच करने की कोशिश करेगा. मास्टर की, ट्रांसफर की एंड एपल मैक. So यहाँ पे it will take around 24 minutes according to the number of counts. 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh. 98 lakhs words are there. So अभी तक इसने बस 2 lakh words अभी स्कैन हुए. But it depends on the word list क्योंकि जो पासवर्ड आप सेट करोगे वो उस डिक्शनरी में होना चाहिए. Otherwise it will not work. It's before the Wi-Fi hacking, you have to gather social engineering attack. You have to gather as much as information that can be used over there for the further stages. And many things can be happen over there. You have to wait for all the possibilities one by one until you get a proper data. So the major important thing, the word should be over there. Otherwise, nothing will be possible. But in this scenario, we can say so यहाँ पे आपका वो word उस डिक्शनरी में होना चाहिए, otherwise it will not work. So we can try various combinations and methods over here. We can try various methods and rules that can be used over here for the further stages, and we can try lots of other things. So if you have the words on that specific dictionary, that time it can break the password. But before this attack, you should have to gather as much as the information, because a normal user and a different user can set their names and the phrases on their password. And there are many further things we can do over there one by one. So यहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा important क्या है कि आपको simply information gathering करना है until you reveal some sensitive informations from there, and that could be used on the further stages. In Wi-Fi hacking, if you see over here, wireless network devices, there are lots of attacks. There is AirCrack that we already used. There's Fern, Ghost Phishing, Kismet, your River, your Wi-Fi net. But most of the people, they are not use these things. They simply go through the manual approach. And they can try one more tool, which is called Fluxion. Fluxion is a tool on your GitHub repository, and this is for Wi-Fi hacking. You can see over here official repo of Fluxion. And there is one more tool which is also known as Airgeddon. Airgeddon, yes. This one is also one of the best tools. This is an automation tool. All you have to do is to install this one. Done. So we have to run this SS file. So let's see this one. This is a normal shell file. So I can use Airgeddon SS file, and you will see something like this one. Okay, hit enter. Now the most important thing. You guys have to install all these packets over here. apt get install we have to install all these packets over here. These are some dependencies packet, or you can missing dependency package are trying to be installed, or you can install it normally. The script has been for internet access, looking for the new version. Please be patient. Yes, the script is already in the latest version. I doesn't need to be updated. Please enter to continue. Now we can see ETHO and WLAN 0, and you can see over here this is my wireless network device card name, and this is WLAN 0. So that's it. Just 2 seconds. It's all manual. It's all automation. You have to just select one by one. Monitor mode manage करना है या manage mode. Select another Wi-Fi network card. No. Perform a DOS attack or a handshake PKM ID. Offline WPA2 part. Evil twin or a WPSK attack. Let's do 8th one. You can try custom pin association. Fixidus attack. Fixidus attack क्या करेगा? ये आपको simple एक खुद का एक wordless create करके देगा. So I think सबसे ज़्यादा Fixidus attack सबसे ज़्यादा use होता है. You have bullet installed. You have must be version requirement. Yes. Do you want to select? Nope. Evil twin करते हैं. Okay, Evil twin के लिए मुझे ये सारे application install करने पड़ेंगे. Sometimes we have to install the dependencies because some of the application will not work. And evil twin जो सबसे ज़्यादा use होता है आपका एक fake उसी की तरह एक वाईफाई अडेप्टर ऑन कर देगा, एक वाईफाई ओपन कर देगा जो कि आपका फिशिंग के लिए यूज होगा और ओरिजिन वाले को ब्लॉक कर देगा. There are many techniques that we can try one by one over here. So I think it's done over here. Can we do? I guess still I have to restart this application. Exit. Okay. Am I? Yes. This is a normal automation tool. You can see these applications should be installed, I guess. If you have completed all the tools, you can simply try to use those applications right now. So it's going to take some time. Host APD. I guess I already have installed this one, but okay, there's some error over here. So I have to check this error. I guess beef should be also be installed over there. Yes. So let's see. Yes, some of the applications are still installed. Seventh one, still we have some error. So I will say try to install this application and try your most, and we can do lots of further things can happen over there one by one.